Hello everyone, my name is Vanessa Lupita and welcome to my channel. So in this video I'm going to be talking about 3 or 4 stories of me coming out to 2 close friends of mine the very first time that I ever came out to anyone, coming out to my parents, and coming out to a group of close friends of mine. So without further ado, let's get on with the video. So before even going into the stories, I just want to let you guys know that I am pansexual. I identify as pansexual. And for anyone who doesn't know what being pansexual means, the way I like to describe it to people is that I like hearts, not parts. To explain it a little bit more, it's pretty much that I don't really, I acknowledge gender and I acknowledge people's genders, but that isn't a factor in whether I will like someone or not. So yeah, before we even got into the stories, I want to let you guys know about what I identify as. So on to our first story. This was about a week after I discovered what my sexuality was, and I was in my college preparatory program, and I think it was like at the end of the day or like lunchtime, and I was in the same like class with 2 of my closest friends, who are still my close friends to this day. I came out to them the same time they came out to me, and they know who they are, and they're amazing people, just so they know. I think one of the duos will watch this video, and I just want to say again how much I love you guys, because their support and their acceptance really honestly boosted my confidence so much. Like, because I was afraid, especially because it was the very first time that I was coming out to anyone. It was a very this will be a very quick story, like, because it was pretty much me telling them, hey guys, I'm pansexual. Like, I think not even that, I think they actually came out first, and like they told me they're dating, and then that one of them identifies as pansexual, and I was just like, essentially we came out to each other, and I found out one of my friends is also pansexual, and I was just like, oh my god, like, and it was a very exciting thing for me to find out that there was someone else who I knew that was pansexual, and especially because my friend, because they actually have identified as pansexual for a while, and it was just like, I don't know, they got tired of me, but I started going on a rampage, asking so many questions about like coming out and how it felt like, and just really confiding in them so much about my journey and feeling comfortable and what to do in certain scenarios. Like, they were lovely and they were so supportive, and I just can't thank them enough, because they were wonderful and they were so patient with me. But that was the very first time I came out. It was a very quick and easy thing, coming out to them, and it gave me the courage to come out to my mother, and technically my brother. Like, my brother, when I said it, he didn't really think anything of it. He wasn't shocked at all. So when I told him, it was just like pretty much like cool. My mother, she was taken aback, I will say that. So before I even continue with this story, like, I will say that my mother loves me and accepts me 100%, like, now. But I will admit that when I first came out to her, it was a little bit of a difficult thing. She did not expect it. Out of everyone in my life, I'm pretty sure my mother was the one who least expected me to ever come out to her. So it was a pretty big news to her. So after I came out, we like, it's not like she stopped talking to me, but it was a little awkward for like between me and her for a couple months. I'd estimate it was about like for around 6 months after I came out. Like to be fair, I know people have had it worse, so much worse. But it was a very awkward thing between my mother and I for 6 months. And then after that, like I mentioned it again because I was just like, we have to discuss this. And we did, like, and it's been a little bit of process, and I've accepted why it was like a hard thing for her to like to adjust to. Like, to be fair, my mother is Mexican, and she was raised in a very small town in Mexico, in mountains, and like, to be fair, people didn't really come out. Like, the first person to identify as gay in that town came out within the last like 10 years. So like, it was still I get why it was a little hard for my mother to accept it. And you know, after a little while, like, my mom completely accepts me, and you know, yeah, my mother really completely accepts me, and she loved me no matter what. It was just, I know, a pretty hard thing to adjust if you never thought your kid would be queer. But it was a tough time for me when my mother and I had like felt very awkward, and for me it was more so that I felt like she was giving me a little bit of a cold shoulder, or really just not really trying to acknowledge the news that she received. But yeah, now we're all good, and it was just a really scary thing for me when I first came out, like, because yeah, my mother did not expect it at all. To be fair, I will say, girl, the women in my life, especially during these times, did not really question my sexuality at all, really. Like, they didn't really. The men in my life, I don't know why. I don't know why. I don't know. Well, I know a couple of them said that it was because I was very affectionate, and so much more affectionate with the women in my life, that they were just like, huh, do you maybe? Which I don't get, because I was a very affectionate person in general. Like, but the men in my life weren't as shocked as the women in my life. I will say that. But yeah, so my mother really didn't see that coming. But we're all good now, and to be fair, my mother's just like, if you end up with a woman, you know, we'll figure out a way for you to have kids. Don't worry about it. I know that's TMI, but that's just something I wanted to throw in there, because it's funny how far it's come to, like, to the point of acceptance, which I'm really happy it got to this point, and my parents love me no matter what. I guess we'll move on to my dad, because if we're going chronologically, it would be my, actually no. So then the next big event, like big coming out story that I have, is when I came out to a group of my friends, also from the college preparatory program that I was in. And I wouldn't necessarily, I guess, disclaimer, this was a tough one for me, because this also not only involves me coming out, but it also involves religion. So I will say that if those two bring like either bad memories or you know, it's an uncomfortable topic. I will say, if anything, log off, or if you feel like this might trigger anything, because I know at times it is still triggering for me. So mini disclaimer. So when I came out to my group of friends, it was a little after I came out to my 2 other friends from the program, and it was in a matter of defense, in defense of their relationship, because they just came out to our group of friends. So they were shocked. A lot of them were shocked, which is kind of a little bit of a theme, shock, which is understandable, because when you're going through this journey, it really is a journey of yourself, and it's not like people necessarily notice that you're going through this journey. It's not very evident because it's all in you, for the most part. So yeah, it came to shock to a lot of them, and I thought it was, 1, I needed to defend my friends, but 2, I also guess felt like might as well rip the band-aid off. So I was kind of defending my friends who came out, not only came out, but then came out as a couple, because there was one, yeah, at the time, friend who, yeah, they were all like a little like shocked, but this one friend just couldn't accept them, and was just like not with it and everything. And so I was like, because they were like, how could they, like this, like they were just like, it's so random, are they sure, are they not making, maybe this person peer pressured them. It was, oof, that was so enraging when I heard that. But yeah, one of them thought that the other one was peer pressuring the other into a relationship, and that was but I was just like really in defense. It's like it isn't, like I started essentially trying to back my friends up, but also throwing myself in there. And it was just like, you know, I was just like, you know, it's not easy for us to talk about this, and you know, we go through our own journeys, and you know, it wasn't easy for, like, I just kept throwing a lot of we whenever saying something about them. Like, it was just like we are this, and you know, we that, we this, and eventually they caught up and they're like, why are you saying we? Like, and I was just like, I'm saying we because I identify as pansexual too. Like, and everyone was shocked. To be fair, it was a lot of news, but I still think some of that person's action was inexcusable. So I came out to them like that. It was just like, I'm saying we because I also identify as what they identify as. And for the most part, for most of the people in the group, they were just like, okay. And some of them just went back to the other conversation they were having. So I was just like, cool. But this one person in particular who just was ranting about my friends, they were just like, wait, like, what do you mean you identify? Yeah, I identify as the same thing as them. So yeah, so everyone pretty much accepted me right away, except that one person. It was a lot. But like, they started going off about like, what are you talking about? Like, how is that even possible? Like none of us even knew. Like, are you sure? Like, this person started to interrogate me, essentially. And it was just, and I say interrogate, but like in an interrogation, you still ask questions and listen to the answers. It was honestly, it was more so accusing way. Like, it was very much in a more accusatory way than it was like asking me and like discussing with me what, like this, me coming out to them. Because this person just started asking so many questions but not really even giving me a chance to answer. So they were just, some of the questions that I still can remember was like how do you know, are you even sure, like no, none of us even knew that you were questioning this, like. And I was just like, it was already hard enough for me to question my sexuality myself. I don't know exactly why people thought that it would be an easy topic in general to discuss, when I wasn't even sure of my own sexuality. How was I supposed to let other people know? But also, I'm letting you know now. Like, that's what this point of me saying this is. I'm letting you know now, when I'm sure. But like, I answered, I think, a couple of those questions, but then it got to a point where this person was just like, you know, I love you, but I can never accept you. And I was just like, you know, I know it's a lot, like, to a lot to process. So, you know, maybe with time. And they're like, no, I will never, I can never accept you. And it was just like, they're just like, it was essentially a religious thing. They're just like God says this is a sin, you're a sinner. God says gay people go to hell. And that part did get to me so much. My religious upbringing is as a Catholic. I'm not very religious, but I am very spiritual. But at that time I was more religious, more on the leaning on the religious side. So it was a lot for me to hear this, especially because it was already something I just recently accepted for myself. And I wasn't doubting my sexuality, but I was scared because of what people, I knew what people told people in the community, and then to hear myself that this person was literally telling me, like, no, she's gonna go to hell. Like that's, you're gonna go to hell. You're gonna go to hell because gay people are, like, it's a sin and you're gonna go to hell. Like, it was just, she kept on repeating that same thing. And it was just a lot for me. Because I was just like, am I gonna hell? Like, because of who I am. Like, but on top of that, after her just drilling it, trying to drill it into my head, you're gonna go to hell. She started asking all these questions, and to be fair, she did not even let me answer them. She was just like, how are you sure? Like, are you even, like, have you even done this? Have you done that? Like, are you sure it's not because of your trauma with men? I know some friends of mine who have had this trauma with men, the same trauma that you've had with men, and then say that they're gay and turn to women because of their fear. And I was just like, this is ridiculous. Like, and they're like, you know, like, in the Bible it says you're gonna, oh, I can't even repeat it. You guys get the gist. You're gonna go there because this place had gay people, and it's just like, and they're like, you don't even tell anyone you can't be sure, you're just confused. Like, yeah, you're just confused, you need help. Like, it was just telling me that I was sick, I was wrong, like, if I really stuck to this lifestyle, like, I was just going down a bad path. And there was a point where another one of my friends joined in. They apologized to me later on, after realizing how, like, what they after realizing what they did that day was honestly pretty bad, or how bad it was for me. And then it was just so much, and I felt cornered, because I really was cornered, and it was just, I have nothing really to say about the friends of mine who stayed silent at that time, because they did admit, like, they didn't know what to do or what to say. Like, I know it was already a lot for them to process the news, but then too, they didn't know how to handle the situation. Neither did I. Like, it was just, I didn't think this was gonna turn into anything big, because I just assumed my friends would accept me. And of course, she isn't my friend. That person just, you know, I'm not gonna say anything more about it, but about that person, but I just hope that they truly learn who they are, because I knew that I know now that they were struggling with their own identity and their own religion, and it's a lot, and I don't even really want to go into even more details about that person, because ooh, it so gets to me. Like, it was just so much to hear and to, but I did feel a little betrayed by one person who did kind of know, like, I didn't really speak to anyone about me even questioning my sexuality, except one person, and that friend of mine was in the group. I honestly did expect that person to back me up, and they also have apologized after what happened, and they explained why. But it was honestly just a very terrifying experience, because it just felt like she was almost literally about to come at me, like, because she was getting more intense, and then she was coming closer and almost like right in my face, and it was just like just pointing her fingers at me, and hearing someone just essentially yell at me, "You're gonna go to hell." Like, it was a lot. And to be honest, at some point I feel like I just blanked out. I just couldn't. At some point I think I just grabbed my stuff and like left, because it was just ridiculous. Like, I literally had to just like sit there and have these people yell at me like what they thought was wrong with me. So that still to this day is the worst experience I've had coming out to someone. And my last story, I think it was good that I kept this to the end, is me coming out to my dad. And I say this as a separate thing because I came out to my mom my senior year of high school, and I didn't come out to my dad until I believe 3 or 4 years after. Yeah, no, 3 years after I came out to my mom. And it is like, and you're maybe wondering like how did he not know? Like, did your mom not tell him and stuff? I don't necessarily know if my mom told him. I don't think so, but I think my dad started questioning my sexuality like during that time, because there were instances like, I knew my dad was questioning my sexuality during the time before I actually came out to him, because like I think it was at least 2 or 3 times before I came out where randomly my dad was just like, do you want to tell me something? Like, do you like girls? Like, or like he it's not even a like, was he maybe fun? No, I knew he had an inkling of it. Like he had asked me whether I was a lesbian, which I didn't technically lie, because I don't identify as a lesbian, so I don't feel like I lied to him, but he did essentially ask me about my preference. But so I was still worried, because I love my dad, and like it was just a scary thing. Like, I love my mom too, of course, but like I knew my mom loved me no matter what, and like I knew my dad would love me, but it was, especially after how bad that first time I got like rejected. Ooh, I didn't want to cry. I don't know why I'm crying. Like, I knew how bad it could get. So coming out to my dad was a scary thing for me, because anyone in my life knows that I'm like daddy's little girl. So coming out to my dad was the scariest one for me. And it was just like, in my heart I knew he was gonna accept me, but especially after what had happened, I was just weighing, like I just had every scenario like already played through. Like, in my heart I knew he was gonna accept me, but what if he didn't? That was my big fear. What if he didn't accept me? Like, what if he says this or that? Like, I was anticipating and just trying to prepare my heart for any scenario that happened. And it was very heartbroken for me to think of the worst scenarios of my dad not accepting me. Yeah, so that's why I didn't come out to him for what, almost 4 years after. And literally I think that the reason why I came out to him was that I was going to go to London very soon before, like very soon after I was planning to come out to him. And I was just like, you know, if, like, my thought process was, if I come out to him and he doesn't accept me, at least I'm away, and maybe the distance will help him cope with it, or maybe I'll open his mind to it. Like, that was literally my thought. Like, I was just like, if any reason he didn't accept me, like, I'm leaving soon. And it was just, yeah, it was a lot. And to be fair, the way that I came out to him was very nonchalantly. I was literally, like, we literally went to a mall and like I was telling my mom, I think I'm gonna come out to him today. Like, and she's like, do what you want. Like, and it was just like, I was so worried about it and pondering it the whole time we were like at the mall and like shopping. I couldn't really even shop because I was just so worried with everything, and I was just like, I gotta do it. And so after we were done eating like lunch, I was just like, okay, I'm gonna do it. I just told my mom, and she was just like, go. Like, and I was just like, and essentially I just came out to him. I was just like, but I have something to tell you. Like, I've been wanting to tell you this for a while. Like, but that I'm coming out to you because I'm coming out to you. I'm pansexual. This is what, like, I went into detail about what it means and everything. And the whole time while I'm saying all of this, my dad's on his phone, which, thinking back at it, I was just like, and eventually my mom grabbed his phone. And then my dad just like, that's when my dad looked up, and he's like, and I just rambled at this point. I don't even know exactly what I said besides like, telling him I'm pansexual and like what I mean, because I just kept on rambling because I was just like, he's not reacting, he's not saying anything, he's still on his phone. But once my mom took his phone away, and then he like looked up and he was just like, mommy, like it's okay, like I'm gonna accept you no matter what, no matter who you like my little girl, like it's not a big deal. Like, and I was just bawling. He was just very nonchalant about it, like, I love you and that's all that matters. Like, I don't care about who you like or what you like you're my daughter and that's all that matters. And pretty much that really was how like it was like. And then I just was crying, and then I like hugged my dad and was like seeking comfort from my mother and my father, and my mom was just smiling the whole time. And he was just like he also kind of he admitted, like he kind of knew, like he kind of knew that I could also like women. Like I think he thought I only liked women, but yeah. That was a lot longer than I thought it was gonna be of a story, but that really was how I came out to my dad. I came out to him at the food court in a mall, and then I was just crying, and then I ate another slice of pizza. So those are my 4, I guess, most memorable coming out stories. I don't really know how to really end the video. I hope this helps in any way, like, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. I don't know what much to say. I do plan on making more content about being LGBT and being pansexual. So if you guys have any requests or any questions, comments, you guys can leave it down in the description box below. And if anything, like, I'll put my other social medias down there or up here somewhere. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. I will be making a video about my journey, like, of discovering my sexuality. So that will be again a separate video. So yeah, I hope you guys have a lovely day, and I hope to see you guys next time. Bye.